Can I tell you something? I think a lot of women are exhausted right now. Not because they're doing something wrong, but because they've been running for 6 months straight, running businesses, running households, running carpools, running meetings, running errands, and somewhere along the way, they stopped checking in with themselves. In fact, let me ask you a question. If I asked you right now, how's your year going? Most women would immediately tell me everything they haven't done. The goals they haven't hit, the weight they haven't lost, the projects they haven't finished, the things they're behind on. But what if that's the wrong question? Because we're halfway through the year, and before we rush into the second half, I think every woman needs a reset. Not a productivity reset, not a planner reset, a life reset. A chance to pause long enough to ask, where am I? What's working? What isn't? And what do I want the rest of this year to look like? So today, that's exactly what we're doing. Think of this episode like you and I are just sitting on the patio with an iced coffee. No pressure, no judgment. Here's what I know about a lot of women who listen to this podcast. You're responsible. You show up, you carry a lot. And because of that, you spend most of your life focused on what's next. The next meeting, the next bill, the next goal, the next project, the next season. I do the same. And while that helps you accomplish a lot, it also means you rarely stop long enough to acknowledge how far you've actually come. And honestly, I think that's why so many women feel discouraged. Not because they're failing, but because they're only measuring what hasn't happened yet. So here's question number 1. What are you proud of? Before we talk about the future, let's talk about the first half of this year. I want you to think back to January. What are you proud of? And before you say nothing, don't do that. Because I know that's what so many women do. We just dismiss our wins. We minimize our growth. We move the goalpost. So let me help you. Maybe you're proud of that. You survived something hard. You left a relationship that wasn't healthy. You started a new job. You launched a business. You had a difficult conversation. You got through a season you weren't sure you could survive. You started taking care of your health. Maybe you saved money. You paid off debt. You simply kept showing up. That counts. All of it counts. And I want to tell you something I think women need to hear more often. You don't have to earn the right to be proud of yourself. You already have it. And one thing I've noticed about myself over the years is that every time I accomplish a goal, my brain immediately moves to the next thing. It's like, great, what's next? And while that drive has helped me build a career in a business I'm incredibly grateful for, it can also rob us of joy. Because if you're always focused on what's next, we never fully appreciate what's now. So today, give yourself credit. Not because you're done, but because you've come further than you realize. And now let's shift gears. And this might be the more important question. What are you looking forward to? Not what are you worried about, not what are you managing, not what are you responsible for. What are you genuinely excited about? Because I think this is where a lot of women get stuck. We become so focused on responsibilities that we forget to create anticipation. And life starts feeling like wake up, work, take care of everyone, go to bed, repeat. No wonder we feel flat. No wonder we feel tired. No wonder we feel disconnected because we're surviving, not anticipating. So if nothing comes to mind right now, that's okay, but it's information. Because maybe the reason life feels heavy isn't because anything's wrong. Maybe it's because you haven't put anything exciting on the calendar. Maybe you need a girls' weekend, a lake day, a concert, a date night, a class, a trip, a dinner with friends, a hiking adventure, a day completely to yourself. Something, anything. Because the women I know who feel most alive don't wait for joy to find them. They schedule it. So here's the exercise I want you to do after this episode. Grab a notebook, draw 4 boxes. Money is in the first one, and ask what's working, what needs attention. Next is health. How do I feel physically? What habits are helping me? What habits are hurting me? Next is relationships. Who gives me energy? Who drains it? Who do I need to spend more time with? And last is joy. This one is important. What am I doing purely because it makes me happy? Not productive, not profitable, not useful, happy. Because adulthood has a sneaky way of removing joy from the calendar, and we need to intentionally put it back. So here's a phrase I want you to remember. If you change nothing, nothing changes. And that's actually good news, because you don't need to overhaul your life. You don't need a new year. You don't need a Monday. You don't need permission. You just need one small decision. One conversation, one boundary, one habit, one plan, one event, maybe just one change. That's how transformation starts. So ladies, you're not behind, you're not late, you're not failing, you're simply halfway through the year. And you do have the opportunity right now to decide what kind of second half do you want to create. Not someday, not January 1st, today. Because the life you're building isn't happening in the future, it's happening right now. And as we wrap up our Summer Wealth series, I want to leave you with 2 questions. What are you proud of? And what are you looking forward to? Take 5 minutes today and answer them. Seriously, 5 minutes. Because I think you'll be surprised by what comes up. And if this episode resonated with you, I have a challenge. Send it to one person, just one woman, a friend, a sister, a business owner, a mom, a woman who has been carrying a lot lately, because women need other women. We need reminders, we need encouragement, we need people who believe in us when we're too busy to believe in ourselves. So save this episode, share it, text it to someone you care about. And if the Summer Wealth series has inspired you, send me a message and tell me which episode impacted you the most. I love hearing from you guys. Thank you for spending your summer with me. And remember, give yourself more credit, create something to look forward to, and keep building a life that feels as good as it looks. I'll see you next time.